ladies and gentlemen, from the four corners of the world to the four corners of this ring, let's get ready to rumble!
Boxing store.
Best store in Europe. Boxing gloves, boxing shoes, shorts, anything boxing. Just started a Muay Thai line, mixed martial arts, MMA, anything combat-wise.
They've got it all, so shop online or in store.
Champs Boxing Store is your people.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching and listening to this. And welcome to this week's episode of Behind the Bell, proudly sponsored by Champs Boxing Store. This week I'm joined as ever by Matt. Hi Matt, how you doing, mate?
No, you're right, mate. How you doing?
And we were hoping this week to bring you a special episode live from the O2 because Matt was due to go to the all-female boxing event. But as the world is aware, on Thursday night, England lost its Queen. Her Royal Highness Elizabeth II passed away, which meant sporting events like boxing were cancelled. Matt, I get that the nation's in a 10-day mourning period, but do you think it was right to cancel the boxing? Because like fighters have to make weight, and they've been building up to this one night, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it had to stop. Do you think it was right to do that?
Well, not all sports stopped. Rugby carried on and cricket carried on, and I know one boxing show that carried on as well. So I'm a little bit confused. To be honest, I would be so annoyed. I would be absolutely fuming. I've just done an 8-12 week camp. 2 days before I'm meant to throw down, the whole thing gets plugged. Yeah, it happens. It's boxing. It happens. Do you know what I mean? The well, not just the country. The world's in turmoil at the minute. I'm a little bit confused. I don't think it should have stopped. I can sort of understand it at the same time.
Yeah, so I see an interview, I think on Friday or Saturday with Adam Smith, basically saying it wasn't their decision. It was the
Border Control's decision.
Yeah. And he did say there was a bit of turmoil in the dressing room with the fighters and the promoters and the coaches and all that, because as well, it's cost a lot of money to fly people over. And so even though the event's going on in 5 weeks' time, it's still gonna...
Well, you're working more of a loss now, aren't you? As a promoter's point of view, you're working at more of a loss. He's probably spent 30-40 grand on the O2 itself, plus keeping Clarissa over here for a couple of weeks, plus plus the tickets. I hear, I'm not 100% sure if it's true, that there's going to be some sort of confusion with the tickets. So I hope not, because I've got one. So, so it's all a bit up in the air at the minute. I'm a little bit confused with it all. Like, it's a sad time, but the world's got to go on, right?
Yeah. I think what's hard for anyone to know what the right decision to do, because she was the Queen for so long, like she's always sort of been about. This is unprecedented. We've not got anything to follow. No. So I think whichever decision was made, it would have annoyed some people, and some people would have agreed with it.
I understand both points of view. I really can. But as a fighter and a fighter's experience, I wouldn't be very happy for sure. Especially if I was Clarissa Shields. She's just spent weeks away from her family from America. And now to have a fight, and now she's not having a fight for another 5 weeks. So I don't know what's going to happen. She's going to fly back home, or she's going to stay here for another 5 weeks. But either way, it's going to cost.
But not just that. What do you do as a fighter in that situation? Because obviously you've had your training camp. You've just tried to make weight. You've actually made weight because you're a day or two away from the weigh-in. And then you're heading towards your fight. Do you go back into another month's training camp? Do you light spar for the next month? Do you just watch your weight? How do you handle that situation to be prepared for 5 weeks' time?
You'll be back training, keeping sharp, really, keep ticking over. The hard work's done. You just sort of tick over, a bit of pad work, keep your road runs up, work on game plans, I suppose. yeah, I wouldn't go nothing too mad for now. Otherwise, you're just going to be burnt out for a fight night.
Also, this week, you kind of called it because we're not quite over the line yet. But when we done our predictions last week for what Tyson Fury's big news could be, you did say possibly AJ. He did shout out AJ, but it was done quite differently this time. There weren't no bullshit this time. He come out with a decent offer, 60-40, backing AJ to a corner in a way. Offered out 2 dates. I know we haven't heard the official response yet, but do you think that was a smart plan by Tyson Fury? Do you think he really up for this fight? Or do you think he's trying to make it look like if it doesn't happen, it's all AJ's fault because the offer's very fair?
Yeah, and like when I see it was 60-40, I thought it was a very good offer.
Yeah, especially after 2 losses.
Yeah,
from
like
AJ.
Basically, who's got the belt they're fighting for? Tyson. Therefore, he calls the shots. Simple as that. Yeah, I think he's backed him into a corner. Listen, everyone wants to see that fight. I definitely want to see it. It's a bit. Tyson Fury. Do you know what? If he quits boxing, he should make a career as a comedian. the man's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very flamboyant. But backs it up. Obviously, I'm a massive Tyson Fury fan. But yeah, no, I think it'll be a good fight. I don't think Joshua will get the outcome he's thinking. I think Fury's too good for him.
Or if he's not a comedian, if he retires, he should become a promoter because the amount of work he's done over the last 5 weeks, that he was retiring, not retiring, he's fighting Cesaro, he's calling out Usyk, he's calling out AJ. He's done about a year's work in 5 weeks.
Well, to be honest, I've got a little. I've been thinking about that for a little while, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it, but this whole Daniel Kinahan saga.
Yeah,
he's gone. So he's out of boxing. Who's the one to take MTK's place?
No, it's a good shout. File Fury's got as well.
Yeah, like exactly that. I think he'd make a great promoter. I really do. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. But that was my when I was watching the whole Daniel Kinahan saga. I just thought, what about Tyson Fury? Because obviously, before then was when just before the fight with Dillian, that's when it all happened with Kinahan. So yeah. I was thinking, this could be his last fight, and he'll take over MTK.
No, I can see what you're saying. That might have been that could have been a good shout. But obviously, he's now saying he's still got a couple of fights to go again. Do you think part of that as well that he sort of wants to retire, but with his mental health struggles and that, boxing's all he knows, and he probably had a couple of days to realise that actually I need to fight because obviously he doesn't need the money. We know he doesn't need the money. So do you think the fact that he's calling out AJ and doesn't want to wait for Usyk until next year when Usyk said he can fight is a lot to keep him sane himself?
It's all about bragging rights. It's all about, for Fury now, it's all about bragging fights. What man has come out of the horrible, horrible situation of depression, drug abuse, alcoholism, to win a WBC belt, and then he's got a chance to win the belts that he already had? Again, mate, I'd be holding tight.
So you think deep down he does really care about Undisputed because he goes on saying he doesn't care, but obviously he's got a persona to put on when he's on social media and on interviews and stuff. But do you think deep down that is his big goal, is to be undisputed?
No, I just think you want to be the best version of you.
Yeah.
What else has he got to do but get them belts back? That's what I think. I think he'll retire when he gets the belts back.
Yeah, so that one last thing. Do you think as well, because obviously we heard from Eddie Hearn saying that they'd accept the offer. 258 come out and said it was a generous offer, but we haven't really heard anything from AJ. I don't know if he's been on Twitter because I don't really follow Twitter.
Yeah, I don't.
And then Frank Warren said that they had 24 hours to sign the deal, and then we heard nothing. And I know the Queen obviously died on Thursday night. The 24-hour period was up on the Thursday morning, but we've heard nothing since 3 days ago. Do you think that is because of the Queen dying and people being respectful, or do you think people sat back and thought, hang on, when making a big fight, it does actually take time, so we don't want to put too much more out there just in case it doesn't go over the line?
I think the biggest argument is the dates.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest. I think it was the 17th of November or the 3rd of December, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, or the 24th of November and 3rd of December. But it was, that sort of time period.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest battle they're having at the minute. Apart from that, everything's done. But no, behind the scenes, the things will still be going on. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, the show must go on. Yeah, it's only till the 19th of December. Do you know? 19th of September. Sorry. That all this is going to start slowly quietening down. It's mad because her funeral's the day before my birthday. So again, she's ruined my weekend. Yeah, so I just think the dates. I think everything is pretty much sorted, but the dates. We'll just see what happens. I'm sitting on the fence if it's going to happen or not, because it was meant to happen before and it didn't. I personally don't think it's Tyson Fury. I think it's Anthony Joshua. He's a great businessman, very good businessman, and he's pushing for what he wants, and I'll make him right of it. If he wants more, then he should push for more. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the way business is.
But as fighters, can you not sign a deal saying, yeah, we're definitely going to fight each other and then sort the dates out at a later point? Or do you need to have everything in place before you sign the deal just in case something? Because I'm just saying, from someone who don't really know the boxing world, can it be that petty that if you didn't sign something with a correct date on it, then everything falls through?
Yes, that petty.
Right, okay.
It's that petty. Contracts, I ain't really looked into a lot of contract things, but with the contracts, usually everything's there. Right, you'll be fighting on this date, there'll be a rematch clause. Do you know what I mean? Like, things like that. I think everything needs to be out there, and it makes sense to be fair.
You don't think AJ's playing mind games? You think he just wants everything and he wants to be treated fairly before he agrees to anything?
He's possibly playing mind games, but how can you play mind games with Tyson Fury? He's the mind game king. Do you know what I mean? Like, that man don't play with your brain. No one can compare to Tyson.
Okay, and obviously we were expecting to hear some news from Dillian White's camp, but that didn't materialise this week. Again, maybe because of what happened. So hopefully we'll hear something soon. Just before we go, one last thing. Next weekend, Canelo Triple G. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, mate. I think that's going to be fight of the year. So, it'll be a very good fight. A very close fight. A lot of controversy there, to be honest. Canelo.
Can you just explain? Because I've only heard about Canelo because of his pound for pound, and I think I've seen 2 of his fights, one that he won, one that he lost. What's the history between Canelo and Triple G?
So they fought twice already. The first fight was a draw, which, in my opinion, Triple G won.
Okay.
And then he lost the second. But again, it was a very close fight. So basically, yeah, they're putting it to bed. They're putting it to bed on Saturday night. Looking forward to it. Quite a hard one to call, to be fair. Like,
well, that's what I was going to ask you. Who was your pick? But you're on the fence, are you?
I would love Triple G to do it. I've got my own little thoughts about Canelo, which I've lost a little bit of respect for him. So, yeah, I think I would love Triple G to get the win.
For your time this week, Matt.
No worries, mate. No problem. And
then hopefully we'll have some boxing to report on next week. I thought we would have this
quiet,
week.
Yeah. I resorted to UFC.
That'd be a whole other episode. Well, enjoy your week, mate, and we'll speak to you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you later on, mate. Take it easy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, from the four corners of the world to the four corners of this ring, let's get ready to rumble! Boxing store.
Best store in Europe. Boxing gloves, boxing shoes, shorts, anything boxing. Just started up a Muay Thai line, mixed martial arts, MMA, anything combat-wise.
They've got it all, so shop online or in store.
Champs Boxing Store is your people.